Yeah, I have so much freedom. When I look outside, I have no streets, no cars, I have just water that moves all the time. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. It took me 2 years almost every day to build. There is not one way how to do it. That's so funny. Everybody finds his own method to how to build. Nobody in the government telling me how to live or how to make my house. I like that. This part of Holland is underwater, 5-6 meters underwater. I don't think that within 20 years Holland is gone. I don't think so. There are jokes about this. If the water comes in Holland, if the dikes go, I'm still... But I have no engine, I have no rudder. I will bump against something, I don't know. That's not why I'm living on a boat.
No. You know, we like to live on water because it gives you a freedom, you know, yeah. And yeah, as you can see, it's very nice here, and yeah, you are free, you know. I mean, you don't have too much to do with the neighbors and that sort of things, you know. And the government is used to be very easy for us, you know. Not so many rules or regulations and that sort of things, you know. You know, this is also one of the reasons that we have a small motor yacht here, so we don't have to go to a marina.
Because of the square meters, mostly. Because it's not a boat, it's an ark. That's different. You have a lot of boats who were, years ago, really boats. Used for transporting things in the rivers. And later on, they construct boats like this, who are really more like houses. You can't go on the rivers with this. And that's the history. And at the moment when you would like to buy an apartment, you also have neighbors above, under, left, right, central entrance. And you have more private, and you have a lot of freedom because you have these silences. You look out, you see water.
I think my parents were really hippies. They also liked freedom, and my father bought a boat in the old part of Amsterdam, in Jordaan, and it was a bit of a place where the hippies and the free-minded people lived, and the painters and the artists, and maybe also because it was more, he could afford it better than a house. I lived all my life on a boat. It's a good way to live. We saw this boat, and yeah, we thought if we can rebuild it totally to our own style, it could be a perfect place for us. It used to be just a place for poor people, you know, who couldn't afford a house in the 70s, and they just put a boat somewhere in the canal and they lived there, and there were no rules. It was just watching like this for the government. But yeah, now it gets also really crowded in Amsterdam, and everybody wants to live in Amsterdam. A lot of people do, and the prices of the houses go up a lot, and also of the houseboats, because you have just a bit more freedom. You have no neighbors directly.
Well, having no neighbors and seeing the sky and the water all the time, that gives you such a experience of freedom.
It used to be a different kind of freedom, because the first houseboats were probably old ships like that and built into a house to live in, and they had an engine so you can go everywhere.
After the Second World War, 10 years after, it started, I think, so in Amsterdam, growing. Of course, barges, cheap barges, no rules, anarchism on the water, so freedom. And that's the idea. We had not a lot of money when we are together. Then we decided, no, we'll buy a boat, a cheap boat, and make it yourself. And now it's for us it's great. So that's the reason.
You're free. You don't have neighbors, and So we have lots of space and we can sail with it.
The idea for us was, once upon a time, we go with this boat to the south of France, to Perpignan, Toulouse, Stockholm, Berlin, the Black Sea. But this boat is too big and too slow for that, so it's not to do and too expensive, because the fuel prices are going like that. So we just months ago we buy a little boat to do that, and then we rent it, okay, something like that. But the fun was the freedom, and to wake up with your whole house in the middle of nowhere. That's great. Yeah, that's great. But the fun is the illusion to go away when you want.
Yeah.
About 40 years, yeah. It's very long. Yeah, it's free. It's free to live on the water, and it's nice to live on the water. It's easy, and you can have a boat if you want. Yeah, it's nicer. We don't have neighbors on. Yeah, that's better, we think. It's what we call a betonnen bak. Well, we like it. We like it very much.
This is a relatively small ship in means of cargo transportation, and that's also why these boats are used for houseboats. This is 27 meters. At the moment, the smallest cargo ships are about 40 meters.
If there could go something wrong in society or whatever, I take some good friends and we take some food and we sail away, you know. You have this feeling of escape. Yeah, it's really strange in my head, because you're living here underneath 2-3 meters of water level, sea level. Suppose dikes would break. Yeah, of course, talking about this global warming and everything, what could be better than living on a boat, you know, if things go wrong?
C'est large de Noé.
Yes.